As far as grindhouse films go, I've seen exploitation, I've seen blaxploitation, I've even seen nunsploitation. Alice Lucy and Casper Van Dien, how did you become involved in the world's first Swissploitation film, Mad Heidi?
So my agent sent me over the script and said, "This is a wild one, but what do you think?" And I read the sides that they sent over and just instantly thought I need to be involved. It's wacky, it's bonkers, it's fun, and it's going to make people laugh and it's going to make people smile. And at the end of the day, that's a really good thing to be able to do. So, yeah, I then went through the audition process and ended up being Mad Heidi. So yeah.
How about you,
Um,
Casper?
I read the script and I too thought it was wild and incredible. And then I saw the Starship Troopers references, and then I got to speak to the guys, and they were telling me what they were going to do, and they were so enthusiastic. It was a crowdfunded film, and their enthusiasm was infectious. Then you get on the set, and it was just that way. A lot of the investors were on the set as extras, working on the crew. It was just a family environment. And then Alice was such a gem to work with. She was so professional. So it just became, it was so much fun to be a part of this.
Now, it is a crowdfunded movie. How did something like this come across? How does this get on you guys' radar as actors?
Well, I'm still very early days. Mad Heidi was my feature film debut. So I think it just came to my agent and she just sent it through to me. I think that's definitely more of a question for Mr. Van Dien.
I think that they sent it to my agent hoping that I might be interested, because obviously they put in the Starship Troopers quote. So obviously they had an idea. I wasn't privy to it when they first started all that, but when I got it, I went, oh, these guys like Starship Troopers. And I can tell that. I mean, I've worked with a lot of people that have liked Starship Troopers, but it was interesting because they even put on the guards' names like Paul Verhoeven, Robert Rodriguez, different directors I worked with, even Carl Schenkel, who was my director, a German Swiss, like I was playing for my Tarzan movie. So they did little things like that that were just honoring and paying tribute to people and filmmakers. And for me, when people really compliment and pay homage to things in different films, I love that, because I'm a huge fan of films and I love watching them. I watch everything I possibly can. I always have, even before I was an actor. But to see that and to have them do that and be a part of it was like so exciting. I loved it. I was thrilled. I was honored, thrilled, touched. And then the production became even better, mainly because of this young woman over here who my wife and I just fell in love with and thought was wonderful. And we're so glad that we're all friends.
Well, Alice, your take on the dystopian reality version of a grown-up Heidi is, I think, iconic. And I don't think that's just down to the writing or the wardrobe or the heroic camera angles. How did you prepare to breathe life into this larger-than-life action heroine, or did you even think of the character that way?
I think there was a lot of controversy in Switzerland about this film being made because Heidi is, a country's icon, and obviously she's a young girl. It's brought a lot of fame to Switzerland, and a lot of people were quite angry that they were dishonoring her in this way. However, I never saw it as that, because for me, the story of Heidi is a story with heart. It's a story of a young girl who finds her community of people, who works out who she is and fights for what she believes in. And ultimately, Mad Heidi, if you take away the murder and the gore and the dictatorship, it is still a story of Heidi who finds the community of people to walk through life with and stand up for what she believes in. So from that angle, I made sure that heart that is in Joanna Spyri's original sort of story was still there. And then on the action side, I love Lena Headey as Sarah Connor in the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I think she is epic, and I just took massive inspiration when I was younger from her, and again rewatched it to prepare for this.
Cool. Casper, you are on the opposite side of that spectrum, playing the Meili character. He is a buffoon, but also a bloodthirsty dictator. How do you strike that balance between broad comedy and genuine menace?
It was well written. And then I'd been working on a German accent before for another film, and then it got pushed, and then I got this one. So I switched it over to Swiss German, and then I was playing character things and going over it, working with the person, and then working with them telling me all the different dialects of German over there, which they had one guy talk who only lived 20 minutes north of there, and when he talked in his dialect, none of them, not even them, understood what he was saying, and he was still speaking German. So I mean, there's a lot of different dialects, and sometimes I would sound like, when I was working with my dialect coach, he goes, "That sounds kind of like Tommy Wiseau," and I go, "Awesome." And then he goes, "That sounds like Arnold Schwarzenegger," and I go, "This is perfect." And he was like, "What?" And I go, "It's comedy, and this is gold." And then I just wanted to be the character. I wanted to be a larger than life guy, and then I got to work with all these people, and everybody had their heart and soul in it. And so we were playing, we were having fun, we were in there, and we were all committed to it. So for me, I was having the time of my life.
And it certainly looks like it. Now, I don't know what a crowdfunded movie is supposed to look like, but this looks, I mean, you're filming on location in these amazing sets with the wardrobe and, just these big bonkers ideas and practical effects. Can you tell me, both of you, what was your reaction to stepping on set for the first time and seeing this world that had been created for you to play in?
So I was really fortunate. I flew out to Switzerland about 5 weeks before we actually started filming. That was, partially to do fittings, partially to do stunt training, which I did 2.5 weeks of before we began. But the sets weren't built when I got there. They were being built. The team had been in there for about a week and a half by the time I arrived. And actually, I got to see everything come to life. We had a warehouse, which was ours to play in, and the art department props department did an incredible job of building the interior world of Mad Heidi inside this warehouse. And there were moments where the prison cells, everything that's in the prison cells, we shot all of those scenes and they had to be immediately taken down so that we could build the inside of the cheese factory. And they were actually on the exact same plot of the warehouse than the prison is, but you could never tell that because the team was so slick and so dedicated that it really feels that you are in these places. But yeah, for me it was magic because I really got to watch it from 4 bits of plywood into what it was.
Awesome. Well, my last question, is for the both of you. What undiscovered genre of exploitation would you like to see realized, and would you want to star in it?
Well, I had said, Britsploitation would be hilarious, but then I think Austin Powers is like the most iconic Britsploitation that there is, because it's obviously parody of James Bond. And actually, if Austin Powers is coming back, they can call me.
All right.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I'll go see that. I live in Florida now. Maybe a Florida exploitation film. We got enough Florida man, and yes, I would play Florida man, and I would play him so well because I'm a Florida man now.
You got to get on that. That sounds awesome. Well, hey, thank you both for joining me. This movie is incredible and it's a lot of fun, and I can't wait for more people to see it. So this has been a great time.
Well, thank you. Are you going to go to the Fathom Event, see it in the theater?
I'm going to do my best. I think I'm going to be just coming back from out of town that weekend. So yeah.
Well, you can see it anywhere. It's going to be in over 800 theaters across America and Canada. I'm going to go to St. Petersburg, Florida, see it there with some of the guys from my military school and my family, and go see it up there. I'm just going to go ahead and make an event of it. Maybe we'll bring cheese plates and stuff like that too. I don't know.
You've got it. That sounds amazing. Well, thank you both.